Okay, what is my view on the Bible? I have formed by far. My view on the Bible is that the original story of the Bible, that is in Tanakh or Old Testament, is the true story of the Bible, and the New Testament, precisely King James Version, is the true Bible. Okay, for Russian equivalent, it's a Synod translation. It's a word-by-word translation from King James. So okay, so what is my view on the Bible? So that the original story set in the Tanakh and in the New Testament, King James Version, is right, and the Talmudic interpretation is wrong. Okay, any legalism, any work-based salvation, any like instructions being the final solution or final purpose is becoming a trap. Why? Because as we know, there was a fall. Like human beings, totally spiritual, fell under the dominion of demonic spirits. Okay, so and they were like the spirits of those humans were dead, disconnected from their source, from their spirit, and they were being controlled by fear, fear of death, intimidation, by pain, to the benefit of those entities who could only survive if they were being parasites on the creation. And the entry point for the parasitizing on the creation has always been the human being, because he's the king of the creation. So to rot the creation and to parasitize on it, demons had to first parasitize on the human bodies, okay, human species, and whom they like. Okay, so when the in the Old Testament, what happened? In the Old Testament, God gives instructions to people. There is some level of course, in the huge level of holiness and kedusha, the grace in the Old Testament. Okay, but there is no spirit indwelling the human. Okay, no connection like to Christ of the human spirit, so nothing can break it. But there is presence of the grace, Old Testament grace, and the instructions. The instructions are to rip away the thinking and the like rip away the brain cells from programming by the demonic entities to the programming of God's grace. Okay, so and it only can go so far. It only can go so far, and there's always a fight between grace, so to speak, and demonic spirits to recruit the brain, the mind of the individual to the corresponding side. Okay, so the Old Testament instructions were preparing, giving the taste to the human being what the grace is, to capture, to gorge onto the thing itself in the New Testament. So if you don't go from the Old Testament to the New Testament, you actually define the instructions themselves. which were God's program, like a computer programming of our brain. It's his solution on this fallen level, okay, fallen world level to recruit people to look to his side, to look towards his direction, okay. But the picking up of the human individual himself happens only in the New Testament, okay. So the purpose is Christ, connecting and going up further, going higher than that bifurcation, than good and evil, where the whole human being is captured with good, okay, with God's grace. So that's why it's called the person is under grace, not under the law, because whatever he does, he's all penetrated with grace. That's how it's supposed to be. We don't see it on like daily, at least in the behavior. Maybe the person doesn't know he's under grace, but anyway. So let me pause.